In an ugly public fight, 50 Cent and Eminem ultimately revealed Jay Z and Beyoncé. Untouchable, immovable, and well-protected, Jay Z and Beyoncé have been sitting on the throne for years. A surge of devoted followers, gatekeepers in the industry, or silenced any criticism directed at them. However, something has changed. Eminem and 50 Cent, two of the strongest voices in hip-hop, are creating noise that is too daring to ignore. They're not merely hurling shots either. They are dismantling the entire business and revealing what they say is a history of career sabotage, intimidation, and backdoor agreements. Let's begin with 50. The man seldom hesitates to express his opinions, but recently he's been more outspoken about what he thinks has been happening behind the scenes. He stated it bluntly during a recent sit-down. For years, Jay Z has been thwarting his economic endeavors, both in the music industry and in actual corporate plays. According to one of the most outrageous allegations, Jay attempted to prevent 50 from performing at the Super Bowl halftime show by using his NFL connections. And why? There was only a vague mention of the NFL's problems with 50, with no actual explanation. This is where things get hot though. When Eminem learned about it, he intervened and refused to perform unless 50 was added. That in and of itself revealed what was supposedly a covert backroom maneuver. It really backfired. Now, two rappers aren't the only ones ranting here. Power is at issue here. He's in charge of the stage, the limelight, and the prizes. And long before this most recent drama, Eminem had been on this path for years and has been raising the alarm about the rigged nature of the industry. He has criticized the Grammy Awards for what he believes to be a fraudulent scheme that stifles genuine talent and elevates favorites. He claims that the Recording Academy engages in a cruel game in which they ask musicians to increase their ratings, then energize them with nominations before shutting them out entirely on the evening. Eminem even made a vow to never attend the Grammys again, and he hasn't wavered. 50 is doubling down in the meantime. He's not merely discussing award shows. He is accusing Jay Z of being responsible for the victories he racks up at these major events are more about his marriage to Beyoncé than they are about music. 50 claims that the Recording Academy is an expert in its field. If you invite the Carters and give them some trophies, the program will become popular. The headlines will be made, and the cameras will roll. And not everyone applauded when Beyoncé eventually won Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter. There were rumors that Jay was playing the game behind the scenes like a pro and pulling strings once more. However, the charges are not limited to Grammy rigging. It impacts considerably harder with the darker stuff. Let's discuss sabotaging a career. According to an increasing number of artists and insiders, Beyoncé has supposedly blackballed other women in the game, like Aaliyah, Maya, Mary J. Blige, and Carrie Hilson, were gifted up-and-coming celebrities who abruptly disappeared from the spotlight at the same time as Beyoncé was becoming well-known. Is it a coincidence? Perhaps, but the pattern is what's drawing attention. Even former partners, such as Kiss and Amory, have come forward to say that they were snatched at pivotal points in their careers, had their songs stolen, or had their credits taken away. The focus abruptly changes after just one track, one sample, and one dubious transaction. If you violate the message, you will be removed. It's crazy how long this story has been simmering beneath the surface. Previously, people were afraid to speak out loud, but now that they are 50 and M, they are speaking up. The association of Beyoncé's name with her career nowadays, sabotage isn't just some unfounded online rumor. One of the most illuminating stories is that of Carrie Hilson. She was essentially pushed out of the spotlight rather than simply fading away. Things quickly took a turn for the worst once Carrie released a song that was purportedly directed at Beyoncé, though she never confirmed it. The Beehive's response was harsh. However, insiders claim that the true harm occurred behind the scenes. There were rumors that Beyoncé had people lined up for her fall from her own camp. And that was it when Carrie later declined to hold a magazine cover with Jay Z and Beyoncé on it. The sector froze, calls ceased, shows halted, and all of a sudden she was unable to proceed without running into a wall. Kiss comes next. Kelis didn't hold back when Beyoncé stole her popular song Milkshake without giving her credit or warning. He was direct in his statement. Kai's learned the same thing that fans did online, despite Beyoncé's crew never asking, warning, or acknowledging. And when she spoke up, instead of addressing the issue, the sample was just discreetly deleted. Silence. No public response. No apologies. Silence like that is not only disrespectful but also premeditated. To anyone else who might consider speaking up, it sends a message. The pattern is hazardous and disorganized. After declining the approaches of a strong individual, Mia, a lesser-known artist with significant skill, came out about being blacklisted. She didn't. The dots were there, but the names were not. She implied that it cost her everything to stand her ground. Closed doors, radio silence, and a business that continued on without her. Another voice was suddenly removed from the charts. Eminem and 50 Cent are not disregarding that trend, particularly now that more reports are coming to light, particularly from insiders like Jaguar and Wright. They're pointing directly to it. For years, she has been outspoken in her criticism of what she describes as a system based on control and silence. She claims to have witnessed personally the brutality of the ascent to the top while working closely with Jay Z in her early days. In her most shocking revelation, she claims that other artists' integrity, careers, and lives were sacrificed in order for Jay to get popularity. She has never hesitated to mention this name, Big L. In the 1990s, Big L was one of the most popular names in Harlem. Monster with lyrics. He was next up, and everyone in the streets knew it. He possessed an unadulterated gift that was impossible to replicate. He was still making waves just before he was about to sign with Rockefeller and alter his entire course after Columbia signed him and then let him go. In a drive-by in Harlem, he was slain. The case is still open. Even if there isn't any hard evidence linking Jay Z to that particular occasion, the timeframe raises concerns, particularly given how quickly Jay's career took off. Big L isn't the only one. According to Jaguar, Jay Z's entire career is replete with individuals who tragically died, vanished, or conveniently dropped off. Another person who didn't hesitate to confront Jay head-on was DMX. Things changed when Jay was elected head of Def Jam. The foundation of the label had been DMX. His sixth album was delayed when he attempted to release it, despite having several platinum records and hits for days. According to some, Jay did it on purpose to make room for his own return. The setup was never trusted by DMX. In his song The Industry, he even called it out, claiming that the entire system was a ruse to stifle genuine voices and support safe, regulated musicians who would follow the rules. These are not one-off events. They present a more comprehensive picture of a field where authority is crucial and people who challenge it frequently vanish. The further you go, the furthermore, it seems as though Jay Z and Beyoncé pushed the ladder up behind them rather than simply climbing it. 50 Cent is one individual who has made a lot of noise about that. On many podcasts and interviews, he's accused Jay of still trying to sabotage him, even though both are clearly past their prime in terms of needing to compete. It's no longer about music, according to 50. It has to do with control. He claims that Jay is still in boardrooms, trying to prevent transactions from happening if he isn't involved by whispering in the appropriate ears. Once Jay-Z learns about them, even commercial endeavors that have nothing to do with rap, such as media collaborations or sports alliances, suddenly encounter invisible challenges. A younger artist attempting to secure their place would be more likely to act in that manner. However, Jay is already a billionaire with an uncountable number of awards. So why continue to exert so much effort? 50 thinks it's dominance disguised as insecurity, that Jay isn't satisfied with his accomplishment. He aspires to be the one person seen as successful. Everyone else is either a threat to him or beneath him. And it leads to one of the more unsettling hypotheses that has been circulating. Jay and Beyoncé's marriage isn't just about love. It's also about business. 50 even went so far as to refer to their partnership as a contract. He proposed that a long-term marketing plan include everything from Grammy Awards to public appearances. The claim is outrageous, yet it begins to make sense when you consider how frequently they are shown prominently at all important events and award shows. Everyone benefits, including the Recording Academy, when Beyoncé appears, wins, and ratings soar. They are the focal point of the cycle. Their public drama also appears to be premeditated. Do you recall the notorious elevator video with Solange? That kind of stuff may have been quite harmful to most people. However, it just served to increase the Carters' air of mystery and strength, as if their image is strengthened by the pandemonium all around them. That's brand mastery, not style. However, it goes beyond award presentations and rap feuds. Some of the more sinister rumors suggest that lives have been lost in order to preserve them. Uncle Ron, a former bodyguard, went public, saying he had evidence that Jay and Beyoncé had twisted and destroyed lives. Circumstances that occur behind the scenes. Prior to releasing anything significant, he passed away from pneumonia. There was conjecture because of the timing. Ron had always said he knew too much. And now, just like that, he was gone. There are many voices criticizing them. The same caution has been echoed by performers from quite different genres, including Jaguar Wright, DMX, Beanie Sigel, Call Eyes, and Carrie Hilson. You either play along with them or get played if you get in their way. The Carters are experts at this frigid game. The public has been conditioned to ignore it all, which is quite crazy. You are immediately branded as envious, resentful, or insignificant if you say anything bad about Jay or Bi. However, now that Eminem and 50 Cent are conversing, more people are beginning to pay attention as to voices that truly have reach, history, and recede rise. This isn't some nasty tabloid rumor. These are claims, narratives, and patterns that are consistent throughout space and time. This brings us to the actual query. Do Jay Z and Beyoncé just have superior industry skills and are strategic geniuses? Or are they anything more sinister? Two people who formed a dynasty not merely by rising up, but by putting everyone else down. In any case, it's not on a Grammy stage, but the spotlight is finally shifting. It's accurate.